Hi everyone, it's CricketSong of Lunar Wisdom, and I come to you today by this beautiful tree here in my backyard, here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Washington to be precise. So thank you for joining me here on my channel. And today I wanted to take the opportunity to do sort of like a video response to a video I watched earlier this morning done by Thorn Mooney on her channel. The video was titled, "I'm Not a Professional Witch." And in this video, Thorn really talks about, first of all, letting you all know that she is not a professional witch. She does not earn her living through witchcraft. And then she really goes into exploring the idea that a lot of individuals have, that if you're passionate about something, you're supposed to be making it your living. You're supposed to be making money from that, because if you don't, then either number one, you're not good enough, or number two, you're not a real witch. Or maybe you just don't know enough. You know, there's sort of this feeling of not being good enough because you're not doing it professionally. And she really talks about how that's untrue. And I really agree with her. It's not. It's not true. Just because you're not making your craft or your tarot reading or your whatever it is you're doing, she even brings in the idea of art or writing. If you're not making a living from that, then that means you're not good enough. It really brought to my mind the idea that those who can't do, teach, which I also disagree with. I think these are very broad ideas. These are very generalized ideas, and they really are not supportive. They're, as Thorn pointed out, they're encouraged by those individuals who want us to buy something, you know, buy a service, buy a product. It's really encouraged by our capitalistic society. I would like to sort of add my own thoughts on this topic, because I think, especially in the witchy online community, I feel like this is propagated, this idea that if you are a witch, once you hit a certain level of knowledge or experience, you're expected to then sell something from that. So I've been on YouTube since 2010, 2011, something crazy like that. And I have been a tarot reader or an intuitive reader for probably just as long. But just because I charge for my readings, or I charge for teaching tarot, or charge for my time, let me tell you, I do not make enough money to support myself or my family from it. My husband is the primary breadwinner. He is the primary income in our household. My money that I make from either doing readings or doing mentoring or teaching or selling products or whatever is pocket change. It is pocket money. It is money to take when we're going to go to the flea market. It's money that I can use to buy a new tarot deck. It's money I can use to buy my daughter a new haircut. It has never been enough money to live on. It is a lot of times not even comparable to a part-time job. But I don't do it for the money. I've never done these things for the money. And originally I was doing these things for free. But after talking to individuals and experience, when you give things for free, people don't tend to value it. When you're giving free tarot readings, everybody wants a reading. Everybody wants a reading because they're taking it for granted. once you start putting a price tag on it, then people start taking it seriously. And then they value it. So that's the whole motive I had behind charging for a tarot reading when I first started out. And as Thorn pointed out, just because I wasn't charging for things, it never entered my mind that I was not good. I had confidence in my readings, and I still do. And in my witchcraft, I don't feel like I have to prove it to anybody. My witchcraft is effective for me. My witchcraft is successful for me. I generally don't, I would never even consider myself a professional witch either. I am definitely a professional reader, and I have been, but again, that doesn't make me any better or worse when I look at other readers. I've had wonderful readings from individuals who don't charge and who don't even do it on the regular. They don't do readings on the regular. It's just something they enjoy doing, and they have a mundane job. But I've had wonderful readings by those individuals as well. So I don't define how good a reader is or a witch is by whether or not they have a business or they do it professionally, because I feel like that sort of perspective is flawed. Thorn also brought out the idea that even when you do have a profession, a witchy profession, a shop, or you're doing magic for others professionally, or you are a reader and you're doing it professionally, and maybe you can make a living off of it. I just never tried to do that. I never wanted to put in the effort to do that. And for me, I had other reasons too. Like I felt that if I had put all that time and effort into it, in some way I felt like for me, I would end up resenting doing that. All this time and effort and energy, it would become just a job for me. And I didn't want to do that because then my own perception of it would change, and I didn't want that to happen. But Thorn talked about how having a successful witchy or metaphysical business, it requires you to have some mundane skills like marketing and business and even accounting if you're keeping your own books, and tax preparation and all that, which from my own experience is true. My readings, because I charge, it is a side business for me. And I do have to do all those things. I have to keep books. I have to keep receipts. I have to file taxes at the end of the year. So there is a sense of needing to be able to do these things and having the mundane skills in order to do that. So it's not just a witchy business. It's a business that focuses on metaphysical or witchcraft. So there are still necessary skills that you have to have in order to make it a successful business. And thinking that they are completely separate, just like being witch is a completely separate thing, I disagree. I don't see that. It's not. From my perception, being witch is something you are 24/7. If you're running a business that is focused on your craft, on your witchcraft, because you are witch 24/7, you can't really separate that. I mean, having a mundane job, a straight job, I think she called it, you can sort of keep your witchcraft out of that, but because you are witch, I believe that you're still going to have the perspective of witch or magical practitioner, even if you are compartmentalizing your mundane job from your witchcraft. There's still this overlay. There is still this looking at life from the perspective of witch, looking at problems that you encounter at work from the perspective of witch. And I think that's the same for any sort of spirituality you might be. If you're Christian, you can keep Christianity out of the workplace, but you're still going to look at life from a Christian perspective. You're still going to look at situations and interactions from a Christian perspective. I just think that's the nature of human beings. Our spirituality is part of what makes us human. So I think that's something to take into consideration. But in general, I agree with Thorn. You know, just because you are not a professional witch or a professional reader does not mean that you are not good enough. It just means that you've decided not to take that part of your life and make it your profession. I don't think it's necessary. And as always, I love you. Mwah. Blessed be.